Okay. Good morning, students. Seven आवाज येतोय का माझा?
Good morning.
Seven आवाज येतोय व्यवस्थित?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
today
today
हे सेशन
हे
कशासाठी
सेशन
तुम्हाला
कशासाठी
सर्वांना
तुम्हाला
माहिती आहे,
सर्वांना
right?
माहिती
You
आहे,
already
right? You
know
already know
this session
this
where
session
we
where
will just
we will
discuss
just
the
discuss the
questions,
questions, okay?
okay, questions
Okay,
and
questions
their
and
answer
their
to
answer to
which you will
which
face
you will
for the
face for
interview.
the interview.
Okay.
Okay.
So before
So
that,
before that,
let
let
me
me
clear
clear
some
some
things.
things.
Hmm, आप सभी को
आप
ये जो
सभी को ये
सेशन
जो
है ये
सेशन है ये
हिंदी में चाहिए
हिंदी में
इंग्लिश में
चाहिए
चाहिए
इंग्लिश में चाहिए
मीन्स whatever I
मीन्स
should
वॉट एवर आई
speak
शुड
it should be
स्पीक
in
इट शुड
English
बी
or
इन
it
इंग्लिश
should
और
be
इट
in
शुड बी इन
Hindi.
हिंदी
या
या इवन
इवन
मुझे
मुझे
बोलना
बोलना
है
है
कि
कि
ये
ये
सेशन
सेशन
इंग्लिश में होना
बिकॉज
चाहिए बिकॉज
आपका
आपका
इंटरव्यू
इंटरव्यू जो भी होगा या आपको
आपको
आंसर देना है वो इंग्लिश में देना है ना.
सो
सो
इसका रिकॉर्डिंग
इसका रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा है, दैट मीन्स
आप
आप क्या कर सकते हो कि अगर कुछ समझ में नहीं आया है तो ये सेशन दोबारा सुन सकते हो, है ना. एंड फ्रॉम डे वन आई एम सेइंग कि आपको खुद होके आपके कम्युनिकेशन स्किल पे भी काम करना है ना. तो इसका मतलब यहाँ पे मुझे ये कोई नहीं बोलेगा एट द एंड या बीच में कि सर हिंदी में समझाइए.
इट्स क्लियर
इट्स क्लियर, इट्स ओके फॉर ऑल.
Yes,
ओके
sir. Yes, sir.
ओके मैं
ओके, मैं वापस रिपीट कर रहा हूँ कि दिस इज सेशन इन विच वी विल डिस्कस द इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस एंड आंसर्स. सो जनरली मैक्सिमम टाइम तो मैं हिंदी नहीं यूज़ करूँगा, इंग्लिश यूज़ करूँगा. सो नो बडी शुड आस्क मी सर यही कंसेप्ट मुझे हिंदी में समझाइए. इट विल जस्ट वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. ओके. सो कहीं पे मैं हिंदी कुछ बताऊंगा, इट्स नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ आंसर, बट जो एक्चुअल आंसर होगा क्वेश्चन का वो मैं इंग्लिश में ही बताऊंगा. ओके. सो आपको उतना सा थोड़ा सा एफर्ट लेना पड़ेगा कि यू कैन लिसन दिस सेशन मल्टीपल टाइम्स और यू शुड ऑल्सो वर्क ऑन योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल. ये एक पार्ट हुआ. नेक्स्ट
इस
इस सेशन में
मुझे
मुझे कोई टेक्निकल कंसेप्ट नहीं पूछेगा क्योंकि ये हमने ऑलरेडी पढ़ा हुआ है. राइट. तो सर रीटेस्टिंग क्या है ये मुझे समझाइए. अगर ये कोई क्वेश्चन पूछेगा तो मैं उसका आंसर नहीं दूंगा बिकॉज वो भी वेस्ट ही होगा. ऑलरेडी नोट्स दिए हैं, रिकॉर्डेड सेशन भी आपने देखे होंगे या अपने लेवल पे आपने पूरा एक बार रिवाइज किया होगा, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ. टेक्निकल कंसेप्ट मतलब सर रीटेस्टिंग क्या है मुझे एक बार वापस समझाइए. तो ये यहाँ पे नहीं होगा. ओके. मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, मैं टेक्निकल जो भी कंसेप्ट है वो रिपीट नहीं करूँगा यहाँ पे बिकॉज हम यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन और आंसर कर रहे हैं. ये समझ लीजिए. नेक्स्ट स्टिल अगर कोई बस नींद से उठे हैं और ये सेशन ज्वाइन किए तो वो सेशन छोड़ दीजिए. लिटरली मैं बोल रहा हूँ छोड़ दीजिए. यू जस्ट गो एंड सी द रिकॉर्डिंग्स. आपके पास कुछ पेन नोटबुक कुछ नहीं है और अगर आप फ्रेश मूड से सेशन को ज्वाइन नहीं हो तो इट्स वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम फॉर यू एज वेल. ओके. बिकॉज यहाँ पे मैं कुछ शेयर नहीं करने वाला हूँ. नथिंग स्क्रीन शुड बी नॉट शेयर्ड हियर. तो कोई ये भी नहीं बोलेगा कि सर स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं है. बस आपको क्या है सुनना है और कुछ नोट डाउन करने पॉइंट्स. नोट डाउन इसलिए करना होता है कि एवरी टाइम इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल टू सी द रिकॉर्डिंग्स, है ना. तो आपके पास कुछ पॉइंट जो आपको इम्पोर्टेंट लगे या आप उस पर फोकस करना चाहते हो तो वो आप लिखोगे तो इट विल बी इजी टू रिवाइज इन लेस टाइम. अदरवाइज पूरा रिवाइज करने के लिए आप 1 आवर का पूरा रिकॉर्डिंग हमेशा नहीं देख पाओगे इन फ्यूचर ऑल्सो. ओके. सो आपके पास अगर पेन नोटबुक है तो प्लीज़ वो नोट डाउन करते रहिए जो आपको इम्पोर्टेंट लगे. वो भी नहीं बताऊंगा कि प्लीज़ नोट डाउन दिस. ये मैंने सब बताया हुआ है आपके सेशंस में, है ना. इसमें कोई डाउट है? Anything doubt in this? नहीं. ओके. नेक्स्ट देखिए आई विल नॉट टेक दैट काउंट कि इन अपने स्टूडेंट में से कितने स्टूडेंट एज अ फ्रेशर ज्वाइन करने वाले हैं और एज अ एक्सपीरियंस ज्वाइन करने वाले हैं. दैट इज योर कॉल और वो आप डिसाइड करोगे बाद में. बट अभी आपके मन में प्लान तो होगा कि आई विल एंटर एज अ फ्रेशर और आई विल एंटर एज अ एक्सपीरियंस. तो देखो जो फ्रेशर स्टूडेंट है उनके लिए तो स्टैंडर्ड आंसर्स ही है जो भी हम कंसेप्ट पढ़ रहे हैं. यू कैन गिव दैट आंसर बट हु विल पुट एक्सपीरियंस. सो उनके आंसर में क्या चेंज होगा वो यहाँ पे मैं ज़्यादा फोकस करूंगा, है ना. इट्स नॉट लाइक कि इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर क्या है सिंपल बताइए. तो वो तो आपको नोट्स में भी है. बट व्हाट यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट एज अ क्वेश्चन इफ यू आर पुटिंग योर एक्सपीरियंस. ओके. तो सामने इंटरव्यूअर जो है वो क्या क्वेश्चन पूछेगा वो हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस कर रहे हैं.
तो जो भी
तो जो भी
फ्रेशर्स
फ्रेशर्स है वो भी ध्यान से सुने, बट
जो
जो
फ्रेशर
फ्रेशर एज अ फ्रेशर ज्वाइन करने वाले हैं
उनके लिए
उनके लिए
जो
जो
थ्योरेटिकल
थेरोटिकल
कंसेप्ट
कंसेप्ट है वो भी आप सही से बता पाओगे तो
बेस्ट है,
बेस्ट है, नो इशू.
बट
बट
इफ
इफ यू आर पुटिंग एक्सपीरियंस एज अ 1 year 2 year 3 year और एनीथिंग,
सो
सो आपके आंसर्स में जो चेंज चाहिए वो यहाँ पे हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं.
ये भी क्लियर
ये भी क्लियर हुआ?
अगेन
अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग कि मैं कोई स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं करूंगा. यू हैव टू लिसन. ओके, और जब मैं स्क्रीन शेयर करूंगा तो आपको बताऊंगा कि आई एम शेयरिंग माई स्क्रीन. लेट मी नो यू आर गेटिंग इट और नॉट.
ओके
ओके,
सो
so we will start the session. Okay, now if you will face any interview, then after all you can see like your resume is already with the interviewer, है ना? Your resume is already with the interviewer, and he can see whatever like you have performed in the past, like your project, or if you are fresher then your curriculum details, like what is your degree and what you have done. Okay, so what you can do is, first of all you should have the first question like tell me about yourself. This is a common question. Okay, so here what you need to explain is your responsibilities first of all as a tester, like what you have done in your previous project. Okay, so for this question I will let you know the detailed answer at the end of complete session. Okay, here we will not discuss that because many of the responsibilities or the concept need to be finished, है ना? That's why I will tell you the answer of this question, like what was your roles and responsibility in your previous project. And again, whenever like he is asking you to explain about yourself, just try to give your name. Okay, not even about the degrees. Okay, like I have completed my 10th 12th degree and PG this year, not needed. Okay, because the time is very important. They have to evaluate your profile within 20 minutes. So give your name and just start with your previous experience, like I have started as a test engineer journey in 2000 like 19 20 whatever may be the year, and from that like what you have accomplished in terms of project, in terms of your roles and responsibilities. Okay, that you have to explain. Keep in mind. Okay, second thing, during giving in the answers for the technical things, you have to keep the two things in mind. First of all, time is very important, and second thing, if he will ask any questions, okay, so give the answer in that way. So whatever he can ask the cross question on your answer, you should be ready to give the answer. Okay, that I will let you know how to make it. So first, like probably they will ask the question, do you know the software testing? Okay, so simply you will say we are checking the given software with respect to actual result and the expected result. It's a simple concept. But if you are like experienced, like how you can tell, like for any application, given application, we are getting some requirement from the client. Okay, so while testing the software, what we have to check, the given output or whatever we are getting the output from the application or software, it is as per the customer expectation or not, or it is following the requirement or not. Okay, that we have to check. So in this brief explanation, it will come to know like you know what are the requirement, what is the actual output, what is the expected output, right? But when you use the word requirement from the customer or the client, then it will give the impact like you have the real exposure of the testing. Okay, now next, like nowadays I told you major of the industries are using agile methodologies, right? So the next question you might face, like do you know about agile methodology? So simply saying yes, it's okay, but if you something explain more in few lines, it will be good. You can see that I worked in agile methodology in my previous project because of the some advantages of agile, like it's flexible, we can deliver the product in less time, and also the customer can see the prototype in a regular interval, that is the sprint. Okay,
and
and also you can explain like rather than working for a long duration like in other SDLC or V model, here in Agile we are working in sprint. Probably it's of 1 week or 2 weeks. So uh, we can achieve the target in small, we can say, journey, है ना? That means 1 to 2 week one sprint is completed, so your like 20% of the task is completed. So you can explain like some advantage also. Simply saying, have you worked in Agile? Yes. It will not make a big difference. Okay, but along with yes, just in 2 to 3 lines explain its advantages. So ultimately he will ask some question deep in Agile, and it is possible that if you are having good concept of the Agile, then you can explain it. So he will ask you like how it is going to benefit the industry if you are using the Agile methodology. First of all, you can say it is very fast. The word itself shows it is very fast, right? Agile word itself shows it is very fast. Then here it's flexible, like anytime if there is a change in requirement from the customer, then we can easily accommodate in the current sprint by looking into its complexity, or maybe we can take it into the next sprint. Okay, so it gives the flexibility to the customer. Then we are delivering the a visual prototype of the software in regular intervals, that is a sprint. So we can say the customer satisfaction is achieved here. Okay, so like you are saying some advantages. So as soon as the interviewer will get like you are confident in this concept, he may ask you in the details, or he may leave the concept. Okay, that is the second part. Then most popular question in Agile, what are the different ceremonies? Okay, different ceremonies means he is asking about the different meetings, right? So you should know the different meetings, like sprint planning meeting, sprint retrospective meeting. Again, do you know what are the different meetings we are doing? Scrum meeting, the daily Scrum meeting, right? So if you are putting all these names, so ultimately you can expect the cross question also. So you are attending the Scrum meeting daily, or what was the schedule? So the name of the Scrum is like daily Scrum meeting, right? So what you should say, we were attending that Scrum on the daily basis with our Scrum Master, and also as our Scrum team there are some developers. Okay, now he may ask you just for the information like what was the team size. So in my Scrum team, you have to mention in my Scrum team there was one Scrum Master, and like this like now these numbers are not standard, right? So just for example you can put there were nine developers and 11 testers in the team, in that Scrum team. Now this number is not constant. Okay, it may change. If you use less count, you can say as that like project was not that complex, so team size were small. And if you can say my project was somewhat complex, okay, so that's why the team size is more. But nobody will ask you the question like justify the team size, how there are only 9 testers or 11 developers, whatever it may be. Nobody will ask you, but just you have worked in the real environment or not. That's why they will ask what was your team size. So you have to just explain one Scrum Master, X number of developer, and X number of tester. That means you. Okay. Now, yeah, any question, Rohan?
So टेस्टर टू डेवलपर का रेशियो क्या होना चाहिए टीम में?
Yeah, that's what I said. There is no fixed ratio for this. Okay, it depends upon the complexity. Okay, it depends upon the complexity of project, or even sometimes depend upon the costing of the project, right? If the funding or the cost of the project is limited, then the client or the project manager, right, they can accommodate any number of developer or any number of testers. But generally testers are more as compared to the developer. Okay, generally starting from 1 to 1 ratio, it may be 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 1 by 2, like that. Okay,
one developer and 3 or 4 testers, like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
that.
that.
So
So
it's
it's
1
1
by
by
4
4
or
or
1
1
by
by
3
3
ratio,
ratio,
right?
right?
But
But
nobody
nobody
will
will
ask
ask
you
you
that
that
ratio
ratio
and
and
justification
justification
about
about
the
the
ratio,
ratio,
okay?
okay?
Keep
Keep
in
in
mind.
mind
That's
that
what I told
that's
here.
what I
Okay.
told here.
Nobody will ask you
Nobody
the
will ask you the
justification.
justification.
Let me know
Let me know how it is possible.
okay?
Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Now,
next
next
in daily
in
scrum
daily
meeting,
Scrum meeting,
like what was the
like what was
discussion?
the discussion?
So here
So
it
here
comes like
it comes
if
like
you have
if you
attended
have
that
attended
meeting
that
really,
meeting
then you
really,
can
then you
tell.
can
So
tell. So
I told you
I
in
told
daily
you
scrum
in daily
meeting
Scrum
what we were
meeting what you were
discussing. First
discussing.
of all,
First of
as a
all,
tester,
as a tester,
I was
I
giving
was
my
giving
daily
my
schedule.
daily
For
schedule.
example,
For
what I
example,
have
what I
worked
have
on the
worked
last
on the
day,
last day,
and today
and
what
today
I'm going
what
to
I'm
work.
going to work.
Next, I
Next,
will
I will
discuss
discuss
is there any
is there any
blockers
blockers
for my
for
testing.
my
For
testing? For
example,
example,
like
in like
if even you
if
have to give
even
the
you have to give the
examples of that
examples of
blockers.
that
For
blockers. For
example,
example,
data
data
insufficiency.
insufficiency.
That means
That means
I was
I was
testing, but I'm
testing,
not
but I'm
finding
not
the
finding
proper
the
data
proper data
on my
on
screen.
my screen.
So
So
that was the
that was
blocker
the
for my
blocker for
testing.
my testing.
Next thing,
Next thing,
environment was not
environment was
stable.
not
For
stable. For
example,
example,
we are going
we
to
are going to
test in
test
different
in different
environments.
environments.
Okay, different
Okay, different
environments means
environments means
like
in
in one
in one
environment,
environment,
it's
it's
simple.
a
We can
simple
say
we can
testing
say
environment.
testing
Second
environment.
is
Second
what
is what
the
the
pre-release environment.
pre-release
So
environment.
different
So different
environments means
environments
there are
means
different
there are different
packages.
packages.
So don't
So
go
don't
in deep,
go in
but
deep,
just
but just you can say
if
if
environment is not
environment is
stable,
not stable.
okay,
Okay,
that time we are
that time
facing
we are
the issues
facing the
to
issues
test
to
that
test
given
that given
application.
application.
And also,
And also
like if there
like
are
if there are continuous or
frequent changes
frequent
in the
changes in the
requirement,
requirement,
that
that
sometimes it
sometimes
was the
it
blocker
was the
because
blocker because
we cannot
we cannot
understand the
understand the
requirements easily,
requirements easily,
and suddenly
and
we cannot
suddenly we
write the
cannot
test
write the
cases for
test
that
cases for
requirement.
that requirement.
So these are the
So
some
these are the
blocker you
some
can
blocker
say.
you can say.
Okay,
Okay,
definitely this is a
definitely this
common
is a
question.
common question.
Like, have you
Like, have
attended
you
the
attended the
daily scrum
daily
meeting,
Scrum meeting
and what
and
you were
what you were
discussing in that
discussing
meeting?
in that meeting?
Okay,
Okay,
and also
and also
the
the
issues means
issues
if you
means
have raised
if
the
you have
defect,
raised the defect,
so you are
so you are
discussing that
discussing that
defect as well.
defect as
So
well.
I think
So I
one
think one
student raised
student raised
his hand, right?
his
Any
hand,
question?
right? Any question?
Sir, in daily Scrum meeting, we discuss about the blockers. So we also discuss about how they solve that blocker issue.
Yeah, now see,
Yeah, now see, it's not always like if there is a data
so
insufficiency,
how it is
so how
solved
it is
means
solved
the
means
scrum
the
master will
Scrum
ask
Master
the
will ask
developer
the
team,
developer team,
like
like
why the team is
why the
not going
team
to
is
see
not
the
going to
data.
see the data.
So they will
So
go
they
into
will
their
go into their
database and try to
database and
check.
try to check.
So why it is
So
not
why it is
populating
not
on your
populating on
UI.
your UI?
So there may be
So there
some
may be some like
issues from their
issues
end
from
during
their end during
development.
development.
So they
So
will just
they will
like
just
their
like their lead
development lead is also
development
in
lead
the
is
meeting.
also in the
So
meeting.
what he will
So
tell,
what he will tell?
okay,
Okay,
Omkar, we will
Omkar,
see
we
on
will
this
see
issue
on
and
this
we will let
issue
you know.
and we'll let you know.
Okay, like he
Okay,
will tell
like
you
he will tell
if
you
it is
if
their
it
data
is their data
insufficiency. So they will
insufficiency. So
not
they
give
will
the
not
clear
give the
solution
clear
means in
solution
terms
means
of
in terms
technical.
of technical.
But if they
But if
accept
they
okay,
accept
there
okay,
is a
there is
data
a data
mismatch
mismatch
or
or
data
data
insufficiency,
insufficiency,
they will
they will
ask their
ask
junior
their
developer
junior developer
to see on
to
that
see on
issue
that
and
issue and
let you know
let you
when it
know
is done.
when it is done, like that.
Okay,
Okay,
Yes.
but they will not
but they
give the
will not give that
solution exactly
solution
in
exactly
technical way
in
because
technical way
you are
because
tester
you are
and they are
tester and they
developer.
are developer.
So whatever they
So
tell,
whatever they tell,
maybe you
maybe
cannot
you
understand,
cannot
or
understand,
it is not
or it is
needed in
not
that
needed
meeting
in that meeting
because the
because
duration
the
of that
duration
meeting
of
will
that
be
meeting will
15
be
minutes or
15
20
minutes or
minutes.
20 minutes.
So
So
generally
all will
all
try
will try
to
to
like
minimize the
minimize the
duration.
duration.
Okay, so they will
Okay,
not
so they will
discuss in the
not discuss
detail
in the
about the
detail
solution
about the
also.
solution also.
I hope it's
I
clear,
hope
right,
it's clear, right,
Omkar?
Omkar?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
have
if
doubt
you have
regarding
doubt
question and
regarding
answer, you
question and
can
answer,
raise
you
your
can raise
hands
an
and
hand
I will let
and
you
I
know.
will
But
let you know. But
don't ask
don't
what is
ask
Scrum
what is
meeting.
Scrum meeting.
Okay, that
Okay,
what's my
that what's my
expectation here.
expectation is here.
Now,
Now,
again,
again,
sometimes not
sometimes
for
not
the
for
experience
the
purpose,
experience
but
purpose,
they
but
can ask
they
you
can ask
what
you
is
what is the
STLC. So
STLC. So you
how
know
to explain
how
it.
to explain it.
Just you have to
Just you
go
have to
all the
go all
phases
the
from
phases from
start,
start
requirement gathering to
requirement
the
gathering to the
maintenance. You
maintenance.
have to just
You have to
explain,
just explain,
and the simple
and the
question they
simple
can ask
question they
like
can ask like
where you find
where
the
you
role
define the role of tester in this phase? So probably it is in testing. Probably it is in the testing phase. Okay. Then what was the next concept we have seen after the SDLC? The different models. and the agile. Okay.
Now
Now
in agile
in agile we are working in sprint.
right?
Right, sprint is the a duration of 1 to 2 week in which we have to give the prototype of the software.
So
So next many question you can see what is epic and what is story. So epic is nothing but the high level requirement, right? The high level requirement, and stories means again we are breaking it into the small chunks or small part. So the next question, the practical question. So have you assigned like you are assigned with any epic or stories? So if you are putting some genuine, like not genuine, we can say if you are putting good experience like 2 or 3 years, so you have to say yes, I have assigned with epics as well as stories, because of your job role maturity they will give you the epic now, the high level requirement as well as the level requirement like story. But if you are putting the experience of like 1 year or less than 1 year, so you can say I have just worked on stories, I didn't get chance to work on epics. Generally epics will be allotted to the higher experienced person so he can distribute among the team and get the work done. Okay. So if you are putting experience like more than 2 years, so you can say I was assigned with stories as well as epic, both. Okay. Now so okay, now we have not completed the defect, so I will not ask the question about this. Okay, what was the general duration of your sprint? So it's like 1 to 2 week. Okay, 1 to 2 week. So in this week we were working on the sprint. So how many sprint you have completed? Now what you can do is you just make some calculation, like if you are putting the 2 years, then how many sprint you have worked. So it may be near about 20, or it may be less than 24, like whatever it may be. Okay, you just make that calculation in your mind and tell, or you can make that question answer as well as somewhat in your notes ki how many sprints you have covered from your previous project. Okay. Now what is the practical way? See, if you are working in any organization for 2 years, if you are putting experience of 2 years, that doesn't mean you will start working on the project from day one, right? From like 2 years means you are guessing 24 months. 24 months means in 1 month if you are completing 2 sprint, so in 24 you will just simply say 48 sprint, right? But be somewhat practical. See, whenever you will join any organization, it's not that like always you will get the project on day one. Sometimes you will be on bench. Bench means you join the organization but you didn't get any project. So it may be like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. But we will be some practical, like we were on the bench for 2 months. So actual duration of the work is what? 1 year, 10 months. So in that also sometimes in some months you can find there are no more releases. We can say there is less load for testing. So sometimes it may happen in 1 month you can just find one sprint, or in a 2 month you can just find one sprint. So keep all these points in mind and make a number of how many sprints you have worked. Simply if you are putting experience 3 years, like 36 months, and like in 1 month 2 sprints, so if you are simply saying I have completed 72 sprint, so it somewhat questionable. Okay, somewhat questionable. It's not like he will also do the calculation and like catch you in that answer, but be safer side. If you want to show some experience, then be somewhat tricky also. Okay, it's in calculation purpose also, and in scenario purpose also. Then next what we have seen from yesterday only. Okay, like the different test design techniques. So randomly he can jump and ask like, do you know about the test design techniques and how you have used them? So first of all, like if you are telling BVA, that is boundary value analysis. So yesterday we have only seen. So
the
the
best
best practical
practical
example
example
of
of
this
this
technique
technique
we
we
are
are
using
using
in
in
which
which
testing? I
testing?
will
I will
give you
give
the
you the
option.
option.
I'm
I'm
expecting the
expecting the
answer.
answer.
Boundary
Boundary
value
value
analysis.
analysis.
You will
You will
use
use
this
this
technique
technique
in
in
which
which
type
type
of
of
testing?
testing?
Sanity
Sanity
testing,
testing,
smoke
smoke
testing,
testing,
regression
regression
testing,
testing,
or
or
retesting.
retesting.
Yes,
Yes,
Himanshu.
Himanshu.
Um, Mainly, sir, boundary value analysis deal with black box testing.
No, no, I have not given that option, Himanshu. I am just giving four options. First, smoke. Second, sanity. Then retesting, and then regression testing.
Sanitary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, any
Again,
answer?
any answer?
Regression. Okay.
Regression. Okay. Okay. See, some questions will definitely. I am sharing my screen, so please all concentrate on screen.
Okay.
Okay.
You are
You are
using
using
BVA
BVA
and you have
and you
used
have
BVA.
used
If you
BVA.
will say
If you
yes,
will say
he will
yes,
ask
he
you
will ask
in
you
which type
in
of
which type
testing.
of testing.
Okay.
Okay.
Now see,
Now see,
if you are
if you
attentive
are
in the
attentive
class,
in the
it will
class,
be
it
good.
will be good.
Okay.
Okay.
One,
One,
smoke. I will
smoke.
not
I will
use the
not
word
use the word
testing.
testing.
Second,
Second,
sorry.
sorry.
Second,
Second,
sanity.
sanity.
Third,
Third,
retesting.
retesting.
And
And
fourth,
fourth,
regression.
regression.
Shall
Shall
please
please
let me know the
let me know the
answer.
answer.
Smoke testing.
Smoke.
Okay.
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 Now
Now
see,
see,
you should
you
be
should
very
be very
careful
careful
in
in the
giving
giving
answer
answer
also.
also. Okay.
First
First
of
of
all,
all,
my
my
dear,
dear,
for
for
smoke
smoke
testing,
testing,
the
the
first
first
parameter
parameter
is
is
we
we
don't
don't
require
require
test case
test
for
case
it,
for it,
right?
right?
Do we
Do we
require
require
test case
test
for
case for
smoke
smoke
testing?
testing?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
yesterday
yesterday
only
only
when I
when I
was
was
saying
saying
you the
you the
boundary
boundary
value
value
analysis
analysis
means
means
you have
you
to
have to
write the
write the
test
test
case
case
and
and
test
test
input
input
data.
data.
Do you
Do you
remember?
remember?
So
So
smoke
smoke
testing is
testing is
not the
not the
correct
correct
answer.
answer.
We
We
don't
don't
require any
require any
test
test
cases
cases
for it.
for it.
And
And
see,
see,
in
in
retesting,
retesting,
in
in
boundary
boundary
value
value
analysis,
analysis,
we are
we are
trying to
trying to
give
give
many
many
inputs,
inputs,
right?
right?
So it
So
may
it
be
may be
positive, it
positive,
may
it
be
may be
negative.
negative.
And this
And
for
this for
smoke
smoke
testing,
testing,
it
it
is
is
very
very
important.
important.
We are
We are
just
just
using the
using the
positive
positive
scenario,
scenario,
right?
right?
Not
Not
negative
negative
scenario.
scenario.
So
So
first
first
option is
option
like
is like
whoever
whoever
have
have
given the
given the
smoke
smoke
test,
test,
it's
it's
not
not
valid,
valid.
okay?
Okay.
So
So
these
these
are
are
the
the
some
some
catchy
catchy
questions
questions
in
in
which
which
they
they
can
can
catch you.
catch you.
Okay,
Okay,
you have
you have
used
used
BV in
BV in
smoke
smoke
testing.
testing.
So
So
simply it
simply it
shows
shows
you are
you are
putting
putting
experience, but
experience, but
you
you
don't know
don't
the
know the
actual
actual
things.
things.
Okay.
Okay.
Now
Now
sanity,
sanity,
for
for
sanity
sanity
as
as
well,
well,
there are
there are
no
no
test
test
cases, my
cases, my
dear.
dear.
In
In
sanity, we
sanity,
are
we are
just
just
going in
going in
details,
details,
right?
right?
On
On
each
each
submodule and
submodule and
checking
checking
it's
it's
working or
working or
not.
not.
We are
We are
getting the
getting the
data or
data or
not.
not.
We are
We are
not
not
putting any
putting any
test
test
cases, or
cases, or
we
we
will
will
not
not
like have
have
the
the
multiple
multiple
inputs to
inputs to
check the
check the
sanity.
sanity.
Now
Now
after
after
sanity,
sanity,
the
the
system
system
testing,
testing,
the
right? The
actual
actual
testing will
testing will
start.
start.
At that
At
time
that
we are
time, we are
using
using
BVA,
BVA,
but
but
again
again,
being
being
particular,
particular,
not in
not in
regression
regression
also.
also.
But
But
first we'll
first, we'll
do
do
the
the
retesting,
retesting,
right?
right?
Means
Means
if
if
defects are
defects are
there
there
or
or
anything is
anything is
there,
there,
we
we
will
will
do
do
retesting.
retesting.
And the
And the
word
word
retesting
retesting
itself
itself
shows
shows
one
one
test
test
case
case
you are
you are
testing
testing
for
for
multiple
multiple
times.
times.
Okay, for
Okay, for
multiple
multiple
times.
times.
So
So
there are
there are
two
two
scenarios.
scenarios.
One,
One,
you
you
found
found
defect,
defect,
that
that
why
why
you are
you are
testing
testing
again
again
the
the
same
same
test
test
case,
case,
or
or
for
for
multiple
multiple
data.
data, right?
In
In
boundary value
boundary value
analysis,
analysis,
what we are
what we are
doing,
doing?
we will
We
have
will
some
have some
multiple
multiple
data,
data,
right?
right? Yesterday we have seen the example of age,
age
8 into
56.
56.
So
So we were
getting
getting
six
six
quantity or
quantity or
like
like
six
six
values,
values,
right?
right?
That
That
means
means
you are
you are
checking
checking
the
the
test
test
case
case
with
with
different
different
data,
data,
same
same
test
test
case.
case.
That means
That
you are
means you are
retesting it.
retesting it.
So
So
have you
have you
used
used
BVA?
BVA?
Yes.
Yes.
Where?
Where?
Simply in
Simply in
retesting.
retesting.
Like
Like
in my
in my
application,
application,
where
where
I
I
want to
want to
check
check
some
some
test
test
cases
cases
for the
for the
multiple
multiple
data.
data. as per the BVA. In that I have used the boundary value analysis. Got it? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So again my request ki whenever you are reading your notes, just don't read for your theoretical what examination. You are not giving any degree examination, or nobody will judge you from your writing skills, right? So be somewhat practical while reading also. आप जब भी कुछ पढ़ोगे ना नोट्स वगैरह, तो उसके माइंड के पीछे ये रखो कि इस पे क्वेश्चन क्या बन सकता है, और वो आपको समझ में आएगा स्लोली जब आप पढ़ोगे, क्योंकि सब चीज एक बार होने के बाद सब इंटरलिंक हो जाएंगी, है ना? देखिए बीवीए और टाइप ऑफ टेस्टिंग का जैसे आज इंटरलिंक होता है ना, वैसे ही बहुत चीजों का आगे जब कोर्स कंप्लीट होगा ना तब इंटरलिंक होगा. एंड इफ यू आर जस्ट रीडिंग फॉर थियोरेटिकल पर्पस देन इट विल नॉट वर्क. लिटरली आई एम सेइंग. सो आप रिकॉर्डिंग देखिए, नोट्स पढ़िए, वॉट एवर द वे पॉसिबल फॉर यू, यू शुड गो थ्रू द कंटेंट इन सच ए वे दैट कि आपको कुछ इंटरलिंकिंग क्वेश्चन होंगे. यहाँ पे थियोरेटिकल क्वेश्चंस नहीं होंगे लाइक यूनिवर्सिटी. What is SDLC? Give its advantages for 6 marks. No, you will not face that interview questions. Okay. Now, again, like smoke testing, sanity testing. So, like they will ask, what is smoke testing? What is sanity? That you can explain in the words. Like smoke testing means for the given initial build, we are checking it's stable or not. Okay. So again, one more question you can find, like, in which case it may be unstable. In which case it may be unstable. So sometimes there is like some unit test missed by the developer, because developers are also performing the unit testing at their level. If they missed for somewhat reason, then there will be something like what the error in the code, and that will reflect in the application, right? So it may create some instability in the application, and that we are checking at the initial level. So smoke testing is what? As a tester, it's initial level of testing without any formal test cases. We are just checking the stability of software. It is stable or it is not stable. Simply, if you will say this much answer, definitely they will come to know you will have some experience. Okay. Tell him about the instability and the reason of instability as well. Just don't say we are checking the stability. Again, take some more 20 seconds to explain the answer, like there may be some instability because of this reason, like developer have not performed proper unit testing, or sometimes there may be any error in the code. Okay. Then the same question, like if you get the software, what was your first approach? Okay. So we were doing the smoke testing by considering the requirement. Don't forget the word requirement or requirement document. Always try to give the explanation with reference to requirement document, because as a tester we will test each and everything by taking the reference of this document, right? So sometimes he may directly jump, okay, so you know about the requirement documents. So did you get chance to go through all the requirement documents? You can say yes. Okay, what exactly in that document? Do you know what we can see exactly in the SRS document? It is also mentioned in the notes as well. Some 4 points. Does anybody know what SRS include?
A functional flow diagram,
Correct.
functional task, snapshot, and use cases.
Right. So these 4 terms you have to explain. Like, yes, I get chance to read the SRS, and we found some these points, like 4 points you can tell. Okay. So again he may ask, like, can you tell me the functional flow diagram? So it's very simple, right? As per the requirement of the application, user have defined the set of functions and their sequence, which we were considering for our testing. Simple. And snapshot means sometimes to get the clear visual like insight to the testing team or the developers, they have provided with some screenshot, dummy screenshot, because UI was not ready. So from the previous project, or like they have created in Paint or any software, just the visual impact of the application. Okay. Now, now as soon as you get the requirement, okay, like in what agile, so you think developer and you working on the same day. So if you will say yes, ultimately the answer should be yes, because in agile, developer and tester will start their working as soon as they will assign with the stories. Okay. Now question, in your organization, the stories assigned to developer and tester, like means you, they were same or they were different. Now here, ideally, ideally the stories must be different for developer and for the tester. Why? See, the requirement will be same, the epic will be same, but stories will be different. Why? Like in terms of coding or in terms of required logic, there may be something different in the stories of developer, and as per our testing, there may be something different in that given story. Okay, so ideally, the stories assigned to developer and tester should be different. But to reduce the work, what they will do, they will assign one story only, but they give all the explanation which is required for coding and also for testing. Now as a tester, we will neglect the coding part and we will just focus for the testing part. Okay, so you may say the second answer, which was show like you have some experience. Like you can say ideally it should be different, but in my previous organization, our scrum master was used to assign the stories, same stories, to the developer as well as to tester, but by taking care, like we both are clear with the given task. That means your scrum master have given both requirement, the testing requirement or in the development requirement, in the same story in proper way. Okay, that you have to explain. So here, like he will not generally go into the agile and the deep into the agile. Okay, next, what is the product backlog? What is the sprint backlog? Product backlog means the overall requirement, which we can say it is molded in the product backlog. The overall requirement, all the requirement of the project. And the sprint, in sprint backlog, for a particular future sprint, whatever the committed stories for the client, like that means for these number of stories, the agile team will work on it. That is what the sprint backlog. So ultimately the simple question, what is greater, sprint backlog or product backlog? So product backlog is always greater than the sprint backlog. Okay, now genuine question, if in a given sprint, because of any reason you are not able to work on some stories, then what will your approach? Then first of all, it's not our decision, like we can skip it or not. What you can say, we have discussed the issue, like what you will do means he is asking the scenario based question. So you can see what I can do is I will discuss the same blocker or issue with my scrum master in the daily scrum meeting, and if scrum master will discuss with the business people, okay, or the product owner, means the PM, and if they think we can accommodate in the current sprint, then probably we will get some more time to test it. Otherwise, by looking at its complexity, we can defer it. Defer it means we can think for the next release, whatever it may be. It may be second release, third release, fourth release. Now again, that decision is with the business and the scrum master or with the product owner. Okay, so this is the complex question, like if you miss any stories, then what you can do? Definitely we can accommodate it, but only tester will not take that decision. Okay, the complete team, means the agile team, scrum team, along with the business and the product owner, they will take that decision. Now one meeting I told you, the grooming meeting. Okay, I think it is not in notes, but generally grooming meeting means what? While business, means client, product owner, okay, and the test lead, maybe they are discussing some stories, right? Like requirement, they are just clearing the requirement, means from one side customer will talk about requirement and what they are expecting to test, and from other end tester they can ask some questions if they are not clear with the requirement, like that. So this is the grooming session, okay, initial phase of the sprint. So one may can ask, like, did you get chance to take part in the grooming session? You can say yes, but when, like, you have good experience, like generally in grooming session, like the people with less experience will not be included, because we are discussing with the client, right? So you should have some sound knowledge and also good communication, okay. So if at the end you can see you are strong in communication, definitely you said yes sir or yes. And sorry, one thing, in interviewer, whatever, like interviewer gender, it's like female or male, and whatever her or his age, don't call by sir or madam, okay. In IT industry generally they are not using the word sir or madam, okay. If like interviewer is anything like Shubham Mehta, so you can just call him Shubham, okay. No sir, no ma'am, please keep in mind. So it shows like you have some experience. If you are always saying sir, madam, that shows you are not part of IT industry in your previous years, okay. Don't go about their age. If you can look on the screen, the interviewer is like 40 plus or 54 45 plus age, still call him or her by name only, that too if you want to. Otherwise, but don't call sir or madam, okay. Keep in that mind, so you can note down this. Yes, Nikhil, any question?
Sir, this implies same for the fresher students also.
Yeah, there is no inequality with your experience. If you are fresher as well, you can just call them by their name,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
but complete name, okay. For example, the name of the lady is Madhushala, so don't call Madhu, okay. Be like decent in that way at least. Or if he permit you, just you can call me Madhu instead of Madhushala, then you can, it's okay. But don't call Madhu also, because many of us like having name like Akash Kumar. So don't call Akash directly. If he says I'm okay with Akash, then go for Akash. Otherwise, call him or her by name only. Okay. Though you are fresher, you are lateral, means you are putting any experience. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank you.
Okay. So next, like we were up to, yeah. So if any stories is missed, what you will do? So that the question you have to make, like we will take the decision with our scrum team, and we will try to accommodate in the next further release by deferring it, or if they are allowing some more time for testing, we can accommodate in the current release. Looking about the priority. Now the concept of priority and severity is still yet to complete, but just you can say priority. Priority means if it is very urgent to the customer to get that requirement fit into the software, then definitely we should consider it. That is the advantage of Agile, right? So we cannot say we will see it for the next sprint. If it is very urgent and still the team is going to give some extra time to test, we can accommodate it. Ultimately, test means for tester also they require extra time, and for developer also they require extra time. So it's a common decision from the higher management. So it's not like you can always say yes or always say no. So give some logical answers, okay. Don't say okay, in Agile we can accommodate anytime, so yeah, we will see it for this release. We will see for this release, but give some background, like we will discuss with business, like Scrum Master, Product Owner, by looking the complexity, by looking the time to test it, to develop it, like that. Okay. Now, like he can ask you, like, have you done the regression testing? If you say yes, definitely we all will do the regression testing in our like real life. So regression testing, I showed that picture also. We are just taking the backlog of the test cases, means previous test cases, into the current release again. So that's why it is increasing the number. So in some case they may ask you like what is the disadvantage of regression testing, or what challenge you faced? So ultimately what you can say, there is a repetitive testing in regression suite. So it is time consuming if we have good or like number of test cases in our regression suite. For example, there are 100, 100, 200, it's okay. But if we in regression suite, if you are finding 5000 test cases, then it will take time, right? Definitely. So what the challenge you faced? It was time consuming, and also like team size was large because of the more regression test cases. So how you overcome the challenge? It's another part, like we will automate those test cases. So this is the, like some questions we can say after session only. Okay, so that's why we have some restriction to get some cross question also. And now I cannot ask you tell me the advantage of automation testing because we have not started it. But up to this session, what we have covered. Now, do you know about the functional testing and non-functional testing? Yes. In functional testing, we are just sticking to the core part of our functionality and whatever the feature for the given application. Like in terms of any testing you can tell, like smoke, sanity, regression, retesting, all these are going to cover the functional testing. And what about the non-functional testing? Did you get chance to perform it? So if you say no, it's okay. Either you have to say no only, because we are not going to deal with the non-functional testing. But give some small introduction. But I know about this non-functional testing like performance, load testing, stress testing, globalization testing, right? These some different testing. Just explain them, and they can just ask like exactly what do you think in this type of testing. So give that example, like number of user are exposed with the application, right? So at that time there may be sudden load on the system or the server, so that we are testing. Or like globalization testing in means we are checking the number of parameters like local date, local time, local currency, local language in the given application, right? Localization testing. And if it is globalization testing, then we are making sure like the people from all the globe, right, from the different countries also comfortably use the application. Simple. Means even interviewer know he cannot go deep into the non-functional testing, but if you are giving some explanation that you just aware of about the concept, it will be good. At the end, why? Because for some questions directly saying no, it will lead to the negative impact, or he can directly jump into the other domain. For example, if you know have you worked on agile, if you say directly no, he will not go into the deep, right? Because he will come to know you don't know about agile. But if you said agile, I have worked on agile with it some benefit or different meeting, so he will get some interest to ask about the meeting. Okay, then tell me about the daily scrum meeting, like that. So you can like manage your interview also. And ultimately, when interview becomes interactive, like you are giving answer for a maximum question, your chances of selection will be increased, rather than saying simply no, because question for 10 second, no for 1 second, so 12 second one question, so it will not be good impact. So take some time also. So if you see like your interview is going for 20 minutes or 30 minutes with all satisfactory answer, then your chances will be definitely increased. Okay, because at the end interviewer is not expecting pro in all the things, but whatever you explain in the good way, it shows you having good understanding and also the communication skills. Sometimes it happen you are good in concept but you are not able to explain it in the English. Okay, so that definitely you have to work on it. Okay guys, otherwise what will happen, chances will be less for your selection, or instead of appearing for just one interview for selection, you may appear for 5 interviews. Okay, ultimately for that 5 interview will give you some experience in terms of communication, all those things. That's why your chances will be increased slowly, but all this effort you are putting from the start or now, then it will help you to get selection in less interviews. Okay, so always try to work on your communication skill as well, because the grooming session, or many meetings, it will deal with the client or it will deal with the other people from other countries. So ultimately, if you are good in communication, it will be helpful for you to explain your things in good manner. Otherwise, though you are technically sound or something, but survival may be difficult for you then. Okay. Any doubt up to this session, like up to these questions? Any doubt? Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, tell me about grooming meeting, sir.
Grooming session.
Grooming meeting or grooming session.
Okay. See, I told you grooming session, it will be early in the requirement phase, right? When the user means when the client was giving his or her requirement, at that time there will be a meeting, that is grooming session, in which like they will propose their requirements, and from tester team, from developer team, they will try to get their doubts solved, like okay, what you are expecting here to test from our end, or like what should be the logic, like developer will ask like what should be the logic here, it should be displayed or not, like that. So these all questions will be asked in the grooming session. Now ultimately, if you are taking the part in the grooming session, you should have some sound knowledge on the concept. For example, the grooming session is related with the banking domain or the requirement, and you know don't know about anything the banking domain. So though you will be the part of that grooming, but you cannot ask questions, so it's not worth, right? So generally, when you are in the organization for like 1 2 3 years, getting good domain knowledge, then your test lead or your team may include you in the grooming session. Or for your stories, if you are facing more doubts and that doubts are not cleared by your test lead, then still at that time also they can arrange one grooming session with the client. Okay. But generally, just one liner question, like did you get chance to appear for the grooming session? If you say yes, then just tell like what you were doing in the grooming session. We were discussing the requirement, how we can approach for testing and developing. Okay. So I have tried to cover like major of the questions which can ask in the interview till the current sessions what we have completed. Yes, Harshal, tell me.
Sir, if someone wants to show some kind of fake experience in automation testing, then how important is manual testing part for that person? Like theory part of the manual testing?
Though you will put all 100% of your years as the automation, still you will face half of the question for manual.
Okay, like
Okay.
half of the interview will be in
Manual only. Yeah, manual only. Though you are putting your profile especially for automation tester, but you will face like half of the time the interview will ask you the detail about the automation, sorry, manual testing. Then he will go for the specific domain.
okay, like both theory and like theory part will also be asked, na?
What do you mean by theory part?
Like different type, different types of models, functional testing and all.
Yeah, see that's what I'm saying. If you will think it's a theory part, you will always think it's theory part only. But keep it in mind, they are judging you on your experience, even for manual testing. See, Harshal, if you are putting any experience, right, like 3 years, you cannot put complete 3 years for the automation. You should put like 1.5 year for manual, then you jump into automation. So definitely they will ask the same proportion in your interview also. So you cannot say theoretical. They are considering you have worked as a manual tester also. Nobody will start generally their career as a automation tester directly. Okay.
Okay.
Even you got your like offer as an automation tester, but literally for few months at the start you will work as a functional or manual tester. Okay. So don't consider again it's a theoretical part. You have to consider, you have to explain these all the things as you have worked in the company. If you are thinking it's theoretical part, then definitely it will be very difficult to you explain, okay? Because your mind will take it as a theoretical question. What are the models? Explain the models. But in actual, they will just puzzle you in the questions also. So apart from this, like what type of questions you are expecting, let me know. For this all concept, okay? Not rather than this. Don't go in what is defect priority, what is automation and what is this. But अभी तक जो हुआ है उस पे आपको क्या क्वेश्चंस लगते हैं वो बताइए, तो मैं उसको बताऊंगा आपको क्या आंसर देना पड़ेगा, या फिर योर थॉट्स वॉट एवर इट मे बी.
Hello.
बोलिए, बोलो.
Yes, sir. Actually, in boundary value question, yesterday I read the term is black box testing, not exactly retesting.
No. सी ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग, देखो यार, आप अगर रीटेस्टिंग कर रहे हो तो आप ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग कर रहे हो या नहीं, ये बताओ मुझे.
Actually, sir, I'm agree with your point, but yesterday I read that term is black box testing on two sides, two different sides.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
That's why I'm telling the.
Yeah, definitely. Himanshu, most welcome for the doubt. I think, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So these are four options were given, right?
Yes.
ये चार ऑप्शन थे. कौन मानते हैं कि ये चारों टेस्टिंग ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग है? Are you agree? I can say all these four options comes under the black box testing.
Yes.
डाउट जिसने पूछा था वो मुझे बताइए, क्या इन सभी टेस्टिंग को मैं ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग कह सकता हूँ?
Yes, sir.
क्वेश्चन जिसने पूछा था, किसने पूछा था क्वेश्चन? प्लीज आंसर.
Yes, sir.
Can you think, Himanshu, all these comes under the black box testing? Himanshu, I'm expecting
Yes,
answer.
sir.
So tell me why black box testing? Like what is the concept behind black box testing? क्या होता है एक्चुअली ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग? सिंपल बताओ जो आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग बता सके. आई एम नॉट सेइंग डेफिनेशन. क्या आप क्या समझते हो ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग से?
Actually, sir, black box testing mainly deal with at the backend level.
At the backend level?
Yes. Front end level.
देखो यार हिमांशु, आपका कंसेप्ट ही जब गलत होगा तो आपके क्वेश्चंस भी गलत होंगे. ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग का हमको बैकएंड से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, कोड लेवल से कुछ लेना देना है नहीं. हमको जस्ट जो दिख रहा है वो टेस्ट करना है. बराबर? बैकएंड मतलब डेटाबेस में जा रहे हो जो कोड लेवल पे होता है, वो होता है आपका व्हाइट बॉक्स टेस्टिंग. और ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग मतलब आपको कोड से कुछ लेना देना है नहीं, आपको कोड पता भी नहीं है, आपको बस उसकी फंक्शनलिटी चेक करनी है. तो बताओ यार, आप फंक्शनलिटी चेक कर रहे हो मतलब बाउंड्री वैल्यू एनालिसिस में क्या कर रहे हो? आप कोड चेक कर रहे हो क्या कि वो कोड वैल्यू लेता है क्या अलग अलग? नहीं, आप क्या चेक कर रहे हो कि जो मुझे फंक्शनलिटी दिख रही है, इनपुट इनबॉक्स जो भी है जिसमें मुझे एज पुट करना है, वहां पे वो एज कंसिडर हो रही है या नहीं, वो चेक करते हो. तो ये सभी तो ब्लैक बॉक्स में ही आएगा ना दोस्त. कहाँ से आएगा व्हाइट बॉक्स में या ग्रे बॉक्स में? बताइए आप. हिमांशु, आर यू क्लियर विद द कंसेप्ट और स्टिल आई नीड टू एक्सप्लेन अदर में?
No, sir.
है ना? तो वहाँ पे जो ब्लैक बॉक्स, हाँ, तो उल्टा मैंने जब आप
Data may be in white box.
व्हाइट बॉक्स लिखा है.
No, sir. I'm telling that.
बोलो हिंदी में, बोलो कोई बात नहीं, हिंदी में बोलो.
ज्यादा DB मतलब बैकएंड लेवल पे व्हाइट बॉक्स में हम डील करते हैं.
अरे अभी बैकएंड फ्रंट एंड मत मानो दोस्त. व्हाइट बॉक्स मतलब ये समझो कि जब आपको कोड पता है और आप कोड लेवल की टेस्टिंग कर रहे हो तो व्हाइट बॉक्स. तो आपको कोड पता भी होगा तो आप कोड चेक नहीं करते हो, बिकॉज ये डेवलपर ही करता है. तो मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि व्हाइट बॉक्स टेस्टिंग ये डेवलपर करता है, तो उसके बारे में ज्यादा कंफ्यूज मत हो जाओ. हमारा काम मेन ज्यादा है ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग. और अगर पार्शियली आपको कोड को नॉलेज है तो पार्शियली अगर कोड पता है आपको तो आप कर सकते हो ग्रे बॉक्स टेस्टिंग. तो हमारी जितनी भी टेस्टिंग आती है जनरली वो ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग में ही आती है. अब उसमें काफी वैरायटी है टेस्टिंग की ना, ये स्मोक टेस्टिंग, सैनिटी, रीटेस्टिंग, रिग्रेशन, अब ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग ये एक जनरलाइज वर्ड हुआ, इसमें काफी सारे टेस्टिंग आएंगे अब। तो आपको क्वेश्चन भी तो पर्टिकुलर पूछा जाएगा ना, वो थोड़ी ना बताएगा कि यार आप बीवी कर रहे हो तो बताओ आप व्हाइट बॉक्स में करोगे, ब्लैक बॉक्स में करोगे या ग्रे बॉक्स में करोगे। तो उल्टा नोट्स में मैंने उसको इजी दिया है, बट आपको एक्सप्लेन करते समय मैं थोड़ा डिटेल बता रहा हूँ। समझ रहे हो?
यस।
तो ये समझ लीजिए कि हर हर कुछ कंटेंट जो काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है वो थ्योरेटिकल या नोट्स में कवर होगा ऐसा नहीं होता है, कुछ कुछ सेशन में होता है। तो इसलिए मैं बोलता हूँ कि यू शुड बी रेडी विद योर पेन नोटबुक। ये क्वेश्चन आपको नेट पे ढूंढोगे तो भी नहीं मिलेंगे, बट ये रियलिस्टिक क्वेश्चन है ना, जिससे आपका कैच होता है कि हाँ आपने सच में काम किया है कि नहीं। देखो अब इस क्वेश्चन में जो जो जिसने कहा था स्मोक, सैनिटी, रिग्रेशन, वहां पे वो गलत तो नहीं कहेगा आपको, कोई इंटरव्यू तुरंत नहीं कहेगा कि यू आर रॉन्ग, बट उसको इम्पैक्ट जो मिलना है वो उसको मिल जाएगा कि सच में आपने 3 साल काम किया है, तो ये आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग है ना। तो ये कैसे करना है क्या चाहिए मैं बता रहा हूँ, ये आपको नहीं बताया जाएगा कहीं पे। अब यूट्यूब की वीडियो ढूंढ लीजिए, कहाँ पे भी ढूंढ लीजिए, बिकॉज वहां पे एक क्या बोलते हैं जेनेरिक वे में इंटरव्यू होता है कि मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ आप आंसर दे रहे हो, बट एज ए इंटरव्यूअर मेरा इंटेंशन क्या है वो तो मुझे पता होना चाहिए। और ये जैसे मैं बहुत सारे इंटरव्यू लेता हूँ, फ्रेशर के लेता हूँ, लैटरल के लेता हूँ, तो मुझे पता है क्या पूछते हैं और हमारा इंटेंशन क्या होता है पूछने के पीछे। अगर आप फ्रेशर हो तो भी मैं क्या पूछूंगा मुझे पता है, और मुझे आंसर क्या चाहिए वो भी मुझे पता है, और मैं उस आंसर से जज कर दूंगा ना कि आप सच में एक्सपीरियंस हो या नहीं हो, या आपका नॉलेज कितना डीप है, या आप सच में अगर टेस्टिंग में आओगे तो कितना हेल्पफुल रहोगे हमारे लिए। ओके डन। हिमांशु डाउट क्लियर हुआ?
यस सर।
ओके और कोई डाउट है किसी और का?
Yes, sir.
हाँ बोलिए।
Sir, if interviewer asks, tell me about your daily routine, that is from log in to log out, and
हाँ
as an experienced person, how to
तो
explain?
आंसर या तो देखिए अब नहीं हुआ ना अपना पूरा, जब कंटेंट होगा ना
Okay.
तब ये होगा, क्योंकि अभी मैं बोलूंगा कि आप डेली स्क्रम मीटिंग करते हो, अब मीटिंग तो हुआ 15 मिनट्स का, उसके बाद क्या करते हो तो आप कहोगे मैं टेस्टिंग करता हूँ, फिर टेस्टिंग में आप क्या करते हो, तो अभी उसका आना है पूरा फेज। जैसे आप अगर टेस्ट प्लान में पार्ट लिए हो तो टेस्ट प्लान में आपने क्या किया वो बता सकते हो। आप अगर ऑटोमेशन टेस्टिंग कर रहे हो तो ऑटोमेशन टेस्टिंग के लिए आप प्री रिक्विजिट क्या मानते थे, क्या कर रहे थे, आपको डिफेक्ट मिला तो आप डिफेक्ट के लिए क्या करते थे, ये सभी आपको एक्टिविटी में बताना है। अब ये डेली रूटीन तब होगा जब आपका कंप्लीट सिलेबस होगा। सो कुछ कुछ क्वेश्चंस उनके आंसर एट द एंड थोड़े से कंफर्टेबल रहोगे आप, अदरवाइज मैं अभी आपको उसका जवाब भी दूंगा तो क्रॉस क्वेश्चन बहुत होंगे। देन दैट आई विल टेक केयर सूरज, नो वरीज। आपके जो क्वेश्चंस है ना डेली रूटीन या रियल लाइफ के जितने भी सिनेरियो, आप जितने भी पॉसिबल क्वेश्चन आपके माइंड में है, बेटर यू कैन राइट डाउन एंड एट द एंड एक बड़ा सेशन लेंगे हम फॉर 2 और 3 आवर्स, ये सभी क्वेश्चन आपके डिस्कस करेंगे हम। या इवन ऐसा हो सकता है कि किसी ने मैनुअल टेस्टिंग का कोर्स होने के बाद रिज्यूम बनाया, अपलोड किया और 1-2 इंटरव्यू को अपीयर हुए, उनके भी जो क्वेश्चन आएंगे वो मुझे लिख के भेजिए, मैं उनके आंसर आपको बता दूंगा या हम डिस्कस करेंगे। सो अगेन यू विल गेट गुड कॉन्फिडेंस फॉर नेक्स्ट इंटरव्यू। ओके सो डोंट वरी कि कुछ क्वेश्चंस कवर नहीं हुए तो इसका मतलब उसका कंटेंट कवर नहीं हुआ है अब तक, इसलिए वो क्वेश्चन नहीं कवर हुए। ओके एनी टेक्निकल सिनेरियो बेस्ड और जनरल, जो आपने पूछा कि आपका डेली रूटीन क्या था 8 आवर्स और 9 आवर्स के लिए बताइए, तो इसमें काफी पार्ट्स आपके सिलेबस से रिलेटेड है जो आपको आगे आएंगे। ओके सो डोंट वरी अबाउट द आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन आल्सो। एनी डाउट अगेन?
Sir, do we need to perform gray box testing as a manual tester?
देखो मैनुअल टेस्टर का मैंने पहले दिन बताया था कि मैनुअल टेस्टिंग मतलब आप हर कुछ एक्टिविटी खुद करते हो, टूल का इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हो। अब ग्रे बॉक्स टेस्टिंग मतलब यहाँ पे कुछ कोड का मीनिंग आया ना, यू आर डीलिंग विद कोड। अब कोड का है मतलब यहाँ पे टूल लगेगा ना दोस्तों, आपको डेवलप करने के लिए लगेगा, टेस्टिंग करने के लिए कोई टूल तो लगेगा। कोड आप मैन्युअली पढ़ के तो टेस्ट नहीं कर सकते हो कि मैंने 100 लाइन का कोड पढ़ा और हर लाइन को मैंने टिक करते गया, ये सही है, ये सही है, ये सही है, ऐसा नहीं होगा ना। आपको कुछ टूल लगेगा। तो ग्रे बॉक्स टेस्टिंग मतलब आपको कुछ टूल लगना है, थर्ड पार्टी टूल। तो मैनुअल टेस्टिंग हम वहां नहीं करते, जनरली ब्लैक बॉक्स टेस्टिंग इज मेनली डीलिंग विथ योर मैनुअल टेस्टिंग। ओके
Okay.
अगर और कोई डाउट है कोई? आई थिंक समवन वाज आस्किंग।
Sir, how the give answer step by step?
यही होता है, आपके माइंड में ये बैठा हुआ है कि आपको आंसर स्टेप बाय स्टेप देना है। सी जनरली आपके स्टेप बाय स्टेप के आंसर से इंटरव्यू इम्प्रेस होता है, ये बात नहीं होती है। बिकॉज ये मैं पहले बोल रहा हूँ कि ये यूनिवर्सिटी क्वेश्चन आंसर पैटर्न नहीं है दोस्तों, कि आपको स्टेप बाय स्टेप एक्सप्लेन करना है। आपको नॉलेज पे कॉन्फिडेंट होना चाहिए आपको, और वो एक्सप्लेन करते समय हो सकता है कि फोर्थ पॉइंट पहले आएगा और पहला पॉइंट आखिरी में, नो इशू। बट एक्सप्लेन करते समय ये याद रखो कि आपको कुछ वर्ड्स, कुछ कंसेप्ट ऐसे बताने हैं कि आपका एक्सपीरियंस है। अगर आप एक्सपीरियंस पुट कर रहे हो तो, अदरवाइज नो यूज।
ओके सर।
तो ऐसे भी नहीं कि मैं आपको स्टेप लिख को पहले ये आंसर देना है और बाद में ये आंसर देना है, स्टेप्स। सो इट डजंट मैटर। ओके, nobody will create or consider this. या एनी क्वेश्चन? ज्यांना काही क्वेश्चन असतील त्यांनी मराठीत विचारा, जिनको भी जो कुछ डाउट हो गए वो हिंदी में पूछे, नो वरीज। क्योंकि आप इंटरेक्टिव रहोगे, पूछोगे तो आपको ही हेल्पफुल रहेगा, एंड other will also get the benefit of that doubts if you have. कोई डाउट है? अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, एनी डाउट?
सर स्प्रिंट बैकलॉग क्या होता है?
स्प्रिंट बैकलॉग क्या होता है शुभम, कि आप एक पर्टिकुलर स्प्रिंट में काम करोगे फ्यूचर में। अगर आपकी नेक्स्ट मंथ एक स्प्रिंट आने वाली है, तो स्प्रिंट के लिए आपने कितने स्टोरीज या एपिक कंसिडर किए हैं, उसको हम कहते हैं स्प्रिंट बैकलॉग। ओके
ओके सर।
और कोई डाउट? ओमकार? यस।
So is it same as testable objects, backlogs?
टेस्टेबल ऑब्जेक्ट्स नहीं बोल सकते। क्या होता है कि हमको जितने भी फीचर टेस्ट करने हैं, उसको एक हम रिक्वायरमेंट के नाम दे देते हैं। जैसे लॉगिन फंक्शनलिटी चेक करनी है, फंड ट्रांसफर चेक करना है, क्रिएट प्रोफाइल चेक करना है, तो ये स्टोरीज हुए। अब ये स्टोरीज ऐसे 100 स्टोरीज थे जो प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग का पार्ट थी, और अभी स्प्रिंट पे हम आउट ऑफ 100 बस 3 ही कंसिडर कर रहे हैं, दैट बिकम स्प्रिंट बैकलॉग। तो वो 3 फीचर होंगे सिंपली, कुछ हाई टेक्निकल वर्ड नहीं होते दोस्तों, वो बस फीचर्स होते हैं, नाम होता है डायरेक्टली लॉग इन फंक्शनलिटी या जो भी हो। इट्स नॉट दैट मच कॉम्प्लेक्स कि यार ग्रामेटिकली डिफिकल्ट है या जो भी हो, इट्स वेरी इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड। एनी डाउट? आई होप इट्स क्लियर राइट टू ऑल। कोई डाउट नहीं होगा? स्टिल इफ यू हैव डाउट देन ऐसे ही नेक्स्ट और जब सेशन होगा तो तब आप वो लिख के रखिए और पूछिए मुझे, नो वरीज। ओके, सो वी विल स्टॉप हियर फॉर दिस सेशन। देयर इज नो नोट्स, सो प्लीज डोंट आस्क मी फॉर नोट्स फॉर दिस सेशन। एंड ये सेशन की रिकॉर्डिंग आपको मिल जाएगी, whenever you have time you can go it, and we will not have this session on Monday itself. Okay, we will have the section on Friday. I think that is on 14th maybe. Yeah, Tuesday, sorry, not Friday, sorry, Tuesday 14th of November we will have the session at 7, our regular timing. Okay, so wish you all happy Diwali and enjoy with your family. Okay,
Happy Diwali, sir.
yeah, happy Diwali to all.
Happy Diwali.
Yeah, happy Diwali. Yeah, happy and safe Diwali to all. Okay, thank you.